Hey, what is up, guys? It's your boy Z, and welcome back to another TubeCast. Today, I have a very, very special guest on the channel here today by the name of Katie from Take Your Time Gaming. How you doing, Katie?
I'm doing well, Zarius. Thank you for having me.
That's not a problem. Good to have you here. So, what I'm going to do, Katie, is I'm just going to ask you a bunch of questions and stuff because I think a lot of people watch your content and they would like to see the other side of you and your personality as well on different subjects and different things. And so you happy with that?
Yeah, I will answer to the best of my ability.
Okay, here we go. So, how long have you been a content creator on YouTube for, and when did it all start for you?
I'm actually just coming up on 14 months. I haven't been a content creator for long at all. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. You can probably hear my cat meowing in the background.
Welcome to the stream there. Welcome.
Yes, hi Tsuki, welcome. Of course she has to be a part of this. But my first video, I think it was a Cat Quest LP, and it went up on September 21st of last year. So haven't been doing it long at all.
Wow, and you've reached 514 subscribers at present.
Yes.
So everyone
as of
who's
this morning when I checked.
Yeah, everyone who's watching the stream, be sure to go check out the link in the description to Katie's channel. It is absolutely awesome. It's a lot of fun. Everyone's so friendly in there, and it's a pleasure to sit and actually relax and just watch someone play an awesome line of games.
Thank you, Zarius. I appreciate that.
That's all right. Now, how have you always wanted to have a gaming channel, or did you think let's just give it a go and see what happens, see where it takes us?
Well, I had wanted to start my own channel for at least a year before I actually took the plunge. But I was sort of a late adopter to YouTube in general. I didn't just start watching it for fun until a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I actually started the first channels I started watching was just the official PlayStation Access channel.
All right.
And
Yeah.
and they used to have an employee, and her name was Holly, and she would do live streams every week. And I really liked seeing a woman live stream because the market is pretty saturated with male streamers, and I liked watching her. And I just every time I would watch her, I'd think, you know what, I maybe I could do that. I really want to do that. So I started planning it out, and eventually, after a year of planning, I started.
Wow. See, I totally agree with you about, it's saturated with the male gaming industry and male on YouTube doing games and stuff like that. It is absolutely awesome to see another female coming onto the platform playing games, and, they do it just as good as the guys. I have to be honest. There's,
Yeah.
it's awesome. It's awesome to see it. And there should be more females out there just jumping in and saying, yeah, I'm going to do it with the same attitude as what you've got. I think that's absolutely great.
Thank you. And I fully agree. I mean, I think video games in general are sort of a male dominated industry. But if there are females out there who are listening to this podcast and are thinking about starting it, just do it. Just do it.
Yeah, jump in. I think one of the main questions that has to be asked to you, Katie, that I think everyone would like to know is the purple tiki that's on your thumbnails. And what does that tiki mean and symbolize?
I am so happy you asked this question because I think on the surface, most people see tiki in video games and they don't really see how they go together.
Yeah.
But I got to give you a little background on what tiki actually is in order for this to make sense. So
yeah, go for
if
it.
you'll forgive me for pontificating for a little bit.
Take your time. Go for
it. Take your time. Okay. Well, tiki was a movement that actually began in the States around the 1930s during the time of the Great Depression. And it started with these Polynesian themed restaurants popping up that offered an escape from your daily troubles. And they featured cocktails with, elaborate garnishes and many different types of rum. And it really took a hold in the 50s and 60s after World War II. And it became all about escapism. And video games themselves are an escape from your daily life. It's an escape from who you are. You play a different character. You live in a different world. And I thought that if I could marry my two passions, it really would be tiki and video games. And with the theme of escapism, I thought they actually fit together sort of like peanut butter and bananas.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, because I've always wanted to know, because you have it on your thumbnails, and the way you do your thumbnails, it's like right to left, left to right, and they all match in perfectly. And it's a nice, perfect little symbolism things put onto your actual thumbnails to separate you from everybody else and the standard thumbnails. I think that's awesome.
I wanted a logo that people could just glance at and recognize me, because Take Your Time Gaming is kind of a long YouTube channel name. So I needed something that was visually grabbing. And actually my husband designed my tiki head. So he designed it, and he became my logo. I just love his little his PlayStation controller bow tie, and we're actually looking into getting him made into a real tiki mug for me someday.
Oh, now that would be awesome. That would be awesome. That would be so cool. And talking about the tiki and stuff like that, I haven't written this question down, but it will just be thrown in there. When you do like when you hit 100 subscribers, 200 subscribers, 300, you do like a cocktail mix of like drinks, and I think that's something different. That's awesome.
Yeah, I do special cocktail episodes every channel milestone, and some of them are not tiki. I did an episode on whiskey sours, but for the most part, I focus on tiki cocktails. And when I was, planning what kind of YouTube channel I wanted to have, I did consider actually making a strictly cocktail channel.
Yeah.
But when I realized that I could merge both my love of tiki and video games together, I figured I should just combine them. And the cocktail episodes really are mostly for me and my own enjoyment. I love doing them and planning out what cocktail is going to feature and what my weird quirky intro is going to be about. Because I know not every video gamer, also is into tiki cocktails, but for me, they're just sort of a special little, hurrah, I did it. Let's have a toast.
No, because I like watching that, because not only it's like an achievement, you've reached the next milestone, but you bring in actually something else apart from just the gaming and stuff like that to the channel. You bring in something else.
Thank you. Yeah, I have, video games aren't my only interest, and I like for people to be able to see the other parts of me, and I think it helps them understand me better. I'm not just a video game nerd, I'm also a nerd about cocktails.
What goals have you set yourself for your channel?
Goals. All right. I hate using this phrase, but because every YouTuber uses this phrase, but I can't actually think of a better way to say it, but really building a community. I essentially just wanted to make friends because I haven't had in real life friends who are into video games for like a decade, maybe.
Yeah.
And I don't play online games. I don't play multiplayer games. So I needed a way to reach out to people, find like-minded people who possibly just wanted to start a Discord together and have conversations about video games. And I have to say, with that being my goal, I have met it. And I'm just now looking to increase the number of people who join the TYT gaming community and the Discord. And I don't know, we're just all friends. It's great.
Yeah, it is. It is a good bunch of people.
I know you're on there.
Yeah, I'm on there, and I really enjoy talking to everybody. And as I said before, like I love coming into your stream and sitting back, relaxing, and because as being a content creator myself, I like to take that time to sit back and enjoy other people's streams and that. And that's why I come in when I get the time to jump in and sit and relax and that, because it is a lot of fun. So once again, people, if you're watching this, be sure to go show your love over to Katie's channel. 514 subs at the moment, still growing fast. Awesome channel. The link is in the description. It's a must. Go over there. You will not be disappointed.
And when I hit 600, another cocktail episode will pop up.
Yes, another one. Do you have a favorite genre of games? And did that help you contribute to the creation of TYTG?
I definitely have a favorite genre. JRPGs are pretty much my jam.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I don't feature them very heavily on my channel at all. I started live streaming in January before my channel was just strictly Let's Plays, and I did have more RPGs on the channel before I started live streaming. But live streaming, I think, lends itself to an entirely different type of game, and the majority of the games I typically play by myself are turn based.
Yeah.
And live streaming, people tend to want something more exciting that they can verbally participate in. So I actually have really branched out on my gaming tastes. I mean, I've been doing things like the Batman series, which I never would have played normally, and the new God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, things like that. So in a way, my channel has really helped me expand my tastes and find new games that I'm into.
Yeah, because you play a nice variety of games for all different likes and tastes and stuff like that. And that's one of the things that drew me to your channel is it's not just like a one-sided genre. It's a whole range of elements thrown into the channel, which is it's quite comforting actually.
Thank you. I refused to pigeonhole myself by sticking to just one type of game because not only I think is that boring for me, but if I'm not having a good time, nobody watching me is having a good time. So I even used I basically have used my channel to force me to beat Bloodborne.
Yeah.
I'm currently Let's playing the DLC, and I have to say Bloodborne has been the most difficult game I've ever attempted to play. And I continuously feel like I'm beating my head against a wall, but I keep making progress. So I decided to let's play the DLC in the hopes that I am going to beat the Orphan of Kos because everybody is counting on me now. I am accountable to beating Bloodborne.
Yeah, you'll do it. You'll get there.
I appreciate your faith.
You collect a lot of gaming collectibles that's shown in unboxing videos.
Yes.
What got you started on all of that?
Oh man. I collect predominantly plushies, specifically Pokemon, and that really is because I collected stuffed animals from, as a baby.
Yeah.
I've always loved stuffed animals, and then but you reach a certain age and you can't have them anymore. And then I discovered video game themed plushies, and that seems to be a little bit more societally acceptable. So I definitely have a lot of Pokemon plushies. And I really like to expand my art book collection, though.
Oh
Like
yeah.
actual full size, beautiful art books. I would like to actually start a collection of those. I have some that came from collector's editions, but they're not that impressive. And I think that's something I'd like to get more into is video game art.
Yeah, like I talking about the books that you just said. The only books I've collected of the collector's edition of World of Warcraft and all the concept art and
Oh,
that.
cool.
So I got all of them, but that's as far as I've got. I do have one which was from Star Wars: The Old Republic. You got the big box set and
Neat.
stuff.
Yes.
So I got that, but that's as far as it's really gone. I've seriously got to pick up and start the collectibles off again.
I mean, it doesn't help that they're super expensive. So
Oh, I know, right?
it's sort of a slow growing collection. And I haven't even tried to get into figures because the figures, I see are like $350. So I figured, art books. Art books are a better, more affordable bet.
Art books, or you could start off with those little pop vinyls to start off with before they're the expensive ones.
That's true. I just don't really like them that much.
I've started the collection of them, but
Have you?
I have. I got to get the Walking Dead set. I have to get it.
I do like the Persona ones. I was really tempted by the Morgana. They have Persona 5 line now, and but honestly, I have really limited space in the house I live in, and oh gosh, I don't know what Wesley would do if I suddenly brought home a bunch of pop vinyls and was like, let's display them. And then he goes, where? You have no more space.
Oh, dear. So, your channel name, Take Your Time Gaming, I assume that is, don't like to rush through a game to finish it. You have the idea behind the channel name.
Yes, and actually it ties really well into Persona because did you play Persona 5 Arius?
I can't remember. Maybe?
Well, their loading screen, every time there's a screen transition, there's the loading screen. And in the bottom right corner, it just says, take your time. And and I played Persona 5 before I started my channel, and it really resonated with me because there's this huge push right now, to be a trophy hunter and to be a completionist or a speedrunner. And I mean, yes, video games are a competitive medium, but this pressure I was feeling on, I don't have a single platinum trophy. And I felt that I was less of a gamer because of it. And seeing that take your time loading screen it appealed to me. It just kind of made me go, "Oh, I can relax." And I realized if I made my channel, that's exactly the feeling I wanted to give other people. Like, I don't do this to be a completionist. I don't do this to have low play times. I do this to fully immerse myself, escape into a world, and to bring others along with me. So that's really how I got my channel name.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, see, a lot of people, and I've spoken to a lot of gamers over the years, and I've watched a lot of podcasts and videos and stuff, and they're all saying that video games today is all about the graphics, and then you spend like 5 minutes on a loading screen just so it has the perfect graphics. It's not much about the gameplay; it's just the graphics, and it's like everyone seemed to forget about the actual game.
Yes,
you know what I mean? And it's I prefer to actually play a game for the story, for the entertainment. I don't really care about the graphics as such because, I grew up in the 70s and the 80s and stuff where everything was pixelated.
Right.
But you have a great story behind it.
Well, thank you.
But all this new generation is all about graphics.
Yep, I agree. And, it's not like I don't appreciate pretty graphics. But it is definitely not why I choose a game. And, with all of the big indie game movement and everything, so many artists are using pixel graphics because it's a lot easier to render. So I play plenty of games with quote unquote ugly graphics, and it doesn't bother me. So I think we should appreciate him for more than just how it looks.
Oh yeah, most definitely, most definitely. Now, Katie, being a wife and a content creator, your husband is also a big part of your channel, isn't he? Like, he does a lot of team-up stuff with you for your channel.
Yes, and he's actually the whole reason I started, too. I mean, because that year that I kept saying, man, I would like to try streaming, and, it finally took him just being like, okay, you're gonna do this. He had to push me to do it. But I'm so glad he did. And he does team up with me. We have a special series that we call After Dark.
Okay.
And we just co-op play a single player game. We'll switch the controller back and forth. And it's just, it's a fun bonding opportunity for us. And then he's done 2 of his own Let's Plays on my channel. And those are just under the moniker Wesley Plays. So I don't know what his next game will be, but eventually, if he's ever home for long enough again, he will do one.
See, I think that is awesome. Like, as you just said, like running a game together, swapping the controller back and forward. And that's something that is absolutely awesome. I really like that idea.
It's so much fun. I mean, we used to play games together before I ever started my channel. We played the Legend of Zelda games together. But I was always more of the gamer. So I kind of got him even more into video games. And now it's something that we share together. And so that's really nice for us.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I reckon more channels should do stuff like that.
Because they're just fun and silly.
Yeah, it brings more elements and it brings more to the channel, and it's for the viewer, it's something new and different again.
Yes, and especially because he and I will co-op play a game that I won't play alone, or all of his Let's Plays are games that I would never play or feature on the channel. He plays puzzle games like Myst and things like that, because he's way smarter than I am. So then it's nice to have that featured because then I get even more a wider range of entertainment for people and I don't have to do it.
Yeah. So if you had to pick just one, right? Just one, what game that you've ever played is your favorite?
I hate this question. I hate that I can only ever pick one. Okay.
All right, we'll go for two then. We'll go for 2 games.
2 games. I'm
Two
allowed
games.
2? Okay. All right. Well, then the first one, Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne.
What was
It
that?
is an excuse me, I just sneezed. Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. It was a JRPG that came out for the PS2. It's an Atlas game.
Okay.
So you're familiar with the Persona series. The Shin Megami Tensei series basically came first.
Yeah.
So it's the monster demon collecting gameplay in a much darker, more serious atmosphere than like the high school setting of Persona.
Okay. Right.
And that would definitely be. I have spent the most hours probably on that game, replaying it over and over again. And if
Wow.
anybody listening has not heard of this game, do look it up because it is so amazing.
I'll have to.
All
I'll
right,
have
so
to. I'll have to definitely go and have a look at that.
yes, you do. All right, so second one, I'm just gonna say probably Pokemon Soul Silver. As you can see, I just really love monster collecting games.
Yeah.
And the Pokemon series, I've been into Pokemon since Pokemon Red and Blue, and they are just a huge part of my life, honestly. So if I had to pick my very favorite Pokemon game, it would probably be Soul Silver.
Well, don't hate me. I've never played a Pokemon game, so I know, right?
Serious?
I know. I've never played one. I should go back and start playing a lot of these sort of games.
Yes, you need to at least give it a try. I mean, just start with Pokemon Red and just experience the original.
The original first, and just go through.
Yeah. And then if you like it, there's plenty more games. But everybody needs to play Pokemon at least once in their life. Shame on you.
I feel really bad now. I really do.
Good. Go play Pokemon.
All right, that will be a promise. Now I will go and get a Pokemon game and I will play it.
Yes,
that
and
is
then
a
update
promise.
me in the Discord about what you think of it.
Now here's a question.
Okay.
Do you play on console or PC?
I was always actually a console gamer up until, a year ago, when my husband built our current PC. And so now I'm both console and PC master race.
Nice. Have you've always had consoles going back from the PlayStation 1 or earlier than that?
Yes.
Or?
In the Nintendo 64 was my first console. So I was a bit of a late adopter in that regard, but I did have a Sega Game Gear. That was my first system ever.
Nice.
Was a handheld. So I do enjoy the handheld systems, but I was always a console gamer, specifically because I found PC construction a bit daunting. And then for the channel, Wesley was always into computers and building them. So he, when I started my channel, he was like, well, you're going to need a good rig. So he built this. And then I can safely say that my backlog has at least tripled since I got introduced to Steam.
Oh, yeah, I know, right?
Oh my goodness. And all these quarterly sales, I spent way too much money on Steam.
Yeah, I'm exactly in the same boat there. I was just about to purchase a couple of new ones now, and it's I've got 100 and odd games I haven't even looked at yet.
Yes. Yeah.
It's very tempting when you've got the PC, though.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
agreed.
What is your favorite part of being a gaming YouTuber?
Making friends.
Making friends?
I'm sorry, this makes me sound like such a loser. Meeting people and being able to chat about things that I am passionate about. I mean, like I said, I don't really have friends who can understand where I'm coming from when I'm really excited about the release of a new game. They'll listen and they will nod along as I jabber on excitedly because they're my friends, but they don't get that same rush of excitement. The new Pokemon games are coming out this Friday, and they're practically all I can talk about at home. So it's nice being able to jump on the Discord or go on my channel when I'm live streaming, and I can just start a conversation like this, and everybody jumps in. We all speak the same gamer language. We are all passionate about games, whether or not, some people might play Fortnite, some people play turn-based classic JRPGs, but we all we all love games, and that is my favorite part about being a content creator, is getting to share my love of games with people who are as equally passionate as I am.
Yeah. Do they like talk to you differently or look at you differently because you're more like really into video games or compared to them, or they just like
They affectionately call me a nerd or a geek, but it all comes from a place of love. And come on, yes, I know I'm a geek.
I'm
But
well, I'm exactly the same. Oh, do people like label you as that? Don't you think you're old enough now that you should like leave the video games alone? Do they say that to you?
no one did. I do think my parents were a little concerned that my love for Pokemon didn't diminish as I got older and I started going through high school.
Yeah.
I think they thought that my love of Pokemon was sort of a passing phase, and they were worried that, I don't know, it might stunt my social maturity or my education or something. But they never really said it. And as I continued to grow older and still loved Pokemon, and it was clear it was not a negative impact on me, they just let it go. And now they just, oh, that's our daughter. She loves her Pokemon plushies.
Yeah, no, I get it all the time. Like, Z, don't you think you're a bit too old to play video games, or don't you think you're a bit old to do Minecraft and stuff? But I do it for the youngsters, and
Yeah.
I play video games for people that can't afford to buy the video games or are looking at getting the video game but not sure they want to go and spend the money on it. So I'll play it for them so they can have a little
Yeah.
taste and dab. But in all fairness, like I'm getting old now. I'm going on 43 this year, and I couldn't see myself doing anything else than playing
Right?
video games because I've done it since the late 70s, from like
Yes.
the Atari and stuff like that, and I will always continue to play games up until I'm 70 or 80.
Yes,
So
I'm like you. Video games are a lifelong love for me, even if I didn't have the channel. But I would still be playing games.
it's just one of those perfect things you can do to relax. People have like movies. A lot of
Yes.
people read books, listen to music. People play games, and yeah.
I actually think that's finally becoming more acceptable too, now that video games are seen more and more as an art form on par with movies, television, and literature. Because I'm also a huge reader. I love to read. So it, you know, going into an immersive interactive story was, just, it made perfect sense to me to get into video gaming.
Hmm. No,
But
I
I'm
agree.
finding more and more people accept, if you're a gamer, there's even sort of like gamers are cool now, this sort of trend that's going on with the younger generation that, oh, you play a video game, that means you're cool. So there really is this, I mean, we're becoming more and more accepting of video games as an art form and as an acceptable entertainment medium for people of all ages.
That is so true. That is so true. Plus, it feels good though when people know, like, see you in the street and say, "Oh, you're that YouTuber." Yeah, I am. I play games.
You're
Wow,
like, I do
I
that.
wish I could do that. Well, you can. Just go and do it.
Yes.
Have fun with it.
Yes.
So, the last question I've got for you today, Katie,
Hmm.
is what advice would you give to people who are interested in starting a YouTube channel, if it will be gaming, a documentary channel, a cooking channel, a cocktail mixing channel? What advice or encouragement would you give to someone that's a bit iffy, a bit scared, or thinking they can't do it, or what would you say?
Okay. I actually have a lot of points for this. Um, First one, of course, I mean, not to be the Nike slogan, but just do it. I I was a giant chicken about this, and I didn't want to ever live stream because I was too afraid to be, on camera having to interact with people. And it really just took Wesley saying in my ear, just do it. Just do it. It's going to be fine. And it really, really was, because you have to think of it that we're all in this together. We're
Hmm.
all in the same boat. It's People are, as a whole, I think, in the YouTube community, really nice.
Yeah,
And yeah, you're going to get your trolls, but those are not the people that you're going to be interacting with on a daily basis. So if you are considering doing it, I would say go for it. Now, I
yeah,
do have a caveat to that.
yeah.
And I would say try not to go into it with the the mindset that you're going to be the next like Markiplier. Don't do it for the money or the numbers or anything like that. Just do it for yourself and for your own enjoyment, and you're going to get a lot more out of it.
Yeah, I agree.
Be patient. It doesn't happen overnight. And I guess my last piece of advice is pretty practical. Just, yes, the market is hugely oversaturated with streamers, so you're going to need to find something that sort of sets you apart. Like, take the time to make a cool logo and to make a good theme for your channel. Take the time to make good-looking thumbnails. To have, if you have the money or you're going to save up, get a good microphone, because sound quality is so important. I know personally that's something that will make me turn off of videos if the sound quality is poor. So the little things are what need to be focused on, or what are going to set you apart as a YouTuber. Be detail oriented.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, as I've interviewed a couple of people now, and then they say, got to have a sort of like a thick skin, and if you do get the occasional troll and stuff like that, just shrug it off, because at the end of the day, you're doing something for the viewers, you're doing something for yourself, you're having fun with it.
Yes.
Trolls are going to troll, and friendships are going to start, and
trolls are going to troll.
Yeah.
True words have never been spoken, Sirius. And you know what? Specifically to the females out there who might be considering doing this, like, you're going to get trolls that are of a different sort of angle, I guess, than some guy streamers will get. The trolls I've had can be highly unpleasant. Let's just say that. And but you really, I mean, yeah, it's about having a thick skin, but my grandmother used to always say, consider the source. So think about who it is who's actually insulting you and threatening to find out where you live and all of this scary stuff. And try and just imagine what this person actually is like. And when you realize that they are probably really unhappy, it takes a lot of the fear out of it. And so it's not just about having a thick skin, because that's kind of easier said than done. It's really about understanding where these people are coming from.
So I'm just going to throw in one more question, because we've been going for about 30 minutes. One last question. If you had to start all over again, or everything like that, what would you do different, or would you keep these things the same? Would you... What would you do differently?
I don't think I would do anything differently, actually. This has been pretty much the best hobby I've ever taken up, is my YouTube channel. Wesley and I are talking about currently even moving overseas.
Okay.
To your neck of the woods, actually.
Really?
Yeah, for his work. And what I told him was just, as long as I just need a good internet connection and I can go anywhere, because my channel is that important to me. And I'm proud of what I've built in 14 months. I'm a small YouTuber, but it makes me really happy. And that was kind of my goal. And also to alleviate any guilt I would have for playing video games, because that does seem rather indulgent when, I should be like working out or something useful.
Yeah.
And having the channel makes me feel a lot less guilty for playing games, because other people are enjoying it too.
Exactly.
If I could just give one person, something entertaining, then it was a success for me. And now I have a bunch of friends through it, and yeah, I wouldn't do anything differently. I hope that's not a boring answer.
No, I totally agree, because what you just said then, as long as you make one person happy, I go with the thought, well, if you make one person smile, then your job is done.
Yeah, exactly. And that goes back to sort of the advice from the last question, like, focus on one person and not, 5,000 people. Just try and just focus on making that one happy, and you're going to feel a lot more fulfilled.
Yeah, I agree, because that's what a lot of people do these days, is they see the Jacksepticeyes, the PewDiePies, the Markipliers, and the KSIs and stuff like that, and they think, well, if I create a YouTube channel, I can make all this money. Or I can be
Yes.
famous and everyone will watch me. And they get like about 10 subscribers and then they think, well, my channel's not growing. I'm not doing anything differently. Why aren't they watching me? At the end of the day, you're doing it for all the wrong reasons. Do it for the fun, do it for the passion of it, and do it what makes you feel happy.
Yeah, you're never going to succeed unless you're actually enjoying what you're doing.
Exactly.
I mean, that's just my opinion. I see too many people get into YouTube and become obsessed with the numbers. And I actually don't look at my analytics. My husband's obsessed with numbers and data, so he likes to look at them. But every time I come into the study and I see my analytics page up on the PC, I'm just like, stop, close it, turn it off. I don't want to know. Because then you just start getting too hard on yourself and takes the fun out of it.
I think I check it like once every 2 months, if that. I just want to play the games and entertain people. That's what I've always wanted to do. And
yes.
That's good. Well, Katie, I want to say a big, big thank you for joining us on the podcast today. I really appreciate taking the time for coming in and answering all these questions. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Zarius. Thank you so much for having me and wanting to interview a small YouTuber like myself. I am honored to be featured.
That's not a problem. That's not a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to go over and check Katie's Take Your Time Gaming channel. 514 subs. Let's grow that subscriber count as well. You're going to be entertained. You're going to have lots of laughs. It's going to be so relaxing. Be sure to go over and show your love, people. It's an awesome channel and you will not be disappointed. But once again, Katie, thank you so much for joining us. It has been an honor and pleasure to have you. It's been absolutely a blast, and I've enjoyed interviewing you.
Thank you, Zarius. I enjoyed being interviewed. Cheers.
No worries. If you like this video, guys, be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe, and be sure to stick around for more podcast material, games, and Minecraft. Thanks for watching, guys, and I shall see you all on the next video.